Our fifth stage in New Zealand is in the south of the South Island. We cycle from Haast via Wanaka to Queenstown and then on to TeAnau. After a trip to Doubtful Sound, we take the bus back to Queenstown and continue our bike ride to Alexandra. But before we start cycling, we take a 30-minute helicopter flight from Fox to Haast, as the road was closed and impassable due to landslides. The following morning we set off early, as impressive waterfalls and an 81-kilometer route with 970 meters of elevation gain await us. Looks like we have Haast Pass to ourselves. The road behind us is closed.
Heute können wir das mal wieder machen, was wir am ganzen machen, bei Sonnenschein Radfahren.
Our destination for the day, the small village of Makarora, lies beyond the Haast Pass. But there is still some elevation gain ahead, including the Fantail Falls. After a short break and another 4 kilometers of ascent, we reach the top of the pass. The rest of today's route is relaxed, enjoyable cycling. Today we're going from Makarora to Wanaka, initially along Lake Wanaka. Exceptionally, I'm riding in the lead, and at one point I wonder where Sandra is. Then a truck driver stops me and sends me back to Sandra, who has a flat tire. So I pump up the tire and on it goes, but this time Sandra is in the lead again. We continue over a small climb to the neck, from where you can see both Lake Wanaka and Lake Hawea. We cycle for more than 20 kilometers along the western shore of Lake Hawea. If I were ever to be reincarnated as a sheep, please do it here. At the end of Lake Hawea, we follow the Hawea River and set up our tent in Wanaka. In Wanaka, we spent the day repairing the mounting on Sandra's lowrider and doing a few other minor things. Our destination the next day, but then everything changes. So, today we had our first flat tire. It was on Sandra's rear tire. A little later, the outer tire on Sandra's rear wheel bursts. We don't have a spare outer tire, so it's impossible to continue cycling. Yes, and suddenly we're in Frankton. We hitchhiked. A young Dutchman who lives here since 10 years gave us a lift and drove us to the bike shop in Frankton. There we got a new tire, which was fitted right away. Now we're driving from Frankton to Queenstown, hoping that we can catch the ferry to Walter's farm. We've made it and are on the Earnslaw, the only commercially operated coal-fired passenger steamer in the Southern Hemisphere. Each of the two steam engines has an output of 500 horsepower. It's only a few hundred meters from the jetty to the campsite. Wow, something's brewing. Shortly after it starts, and we can see up to 5 rainbows at once. Last night's thunderstorm was mainly over the lake and in the mountains. There's even snow there now. For the next 2 days, we'll first cycle on the Around the Mountains cycle trail and then turn off to TeAnau. Today's destination is the campground at Lake Mavora. Until then, we'll cycle 60 kilometers through a lonely but fascinating landscape, gaining 730 meters in altitude. And all of this on gravel roads.
Like we were just kids. Slow it down or it can be gone. Like we were just kids. The feeling that we had once now ours. Like we were just lost up in space. We found each other.
We'll cycle along the shore of the Lake Wakatipu for an hour and then cycle up the Von Valley.
Like we were just kids. Keep me by your side. Kaleidoscopes running through my mind. We looked like we were both insane. All day, all night to tessellate. I don't want this night to fade, 'cause we don't feel this way no more. We're laughing till our bodies hurting. Takes me to this place like we were just kids. Slow it down or it can be gone. Like we were just kids. The feeling that
After our lunch break here, we leave the Von River Valley. It's a steep climb and a completely different landscape awaits us at the top.
just kids. Like we were just
It looks so barren here that it reminds us of the Pamir Mountains.
when we don't believe it no more, and we forget the way that we felt before. Back to the places that we used to know. We'll be like
The trail stays on this plateau for a long time, and we battle the headwind.
we were just kids. Like we were just kids.
Exhausted from riding on gravel roads all day, we don't reach Lake Mavora until early evening.
We were just kids.
The night was cold and we both had headaches, but the view from our tent makes up for it. Today it's 72 kilometers to TeAnau, 40 of which are again on gravel.
Like we were just kids. Whoa, slow it down.
Finally, we're back on asphalt.
Like we were just kids. Feeling that
The next day, we hit the lake-to-lake cycle trail. It runs along the Waiau River and connects Lake TeAnau with Lake Manapuri.
to the stars. Like we were just kids.
Our first break is at the Rainbow Reach Bridge.
In the middle of this ghost town, is this the end where everything goes down. Are we gonna push through to find
We then cycle to a location from Lord of the Rings, the Lot R Boulder Reach viewpoint.
all the things we've been through? Are we gonna stick around to fight now? We know we've seen this all before. Just head for brighter shores here right now.
A day's rest follows, during which we organize a few things, such as the trip to Doubtful Sound the following day.
Like jet planes floating through night.
Early in the morning we take the bus to Manapuri, and from there we continue by boat across Lake Manapuri. At the end of the ride across the lake, another bus is waiting for us to take us further to the shore of Doubtful Sound.
Here we go on another weekend.
The 3-hour trip through the sound takes us to the mouth of the open sea, and also into a tributary, the Crooked Arm, and back to the jetty.
And all I see is our minds thinking.
Unfortunately, the weather was as bad as predicted.
We could be something so much more than wasted time.
We did see the seals at Knee Island near the mouth, but they were too far away and too well camouflaged to film.
As we are alive, you and I.
Of course, it would have been much more beautiful in sunshine, but even in this weather, Doubtful Sound is very impressive and also has a certain mystery.
Over the skyline we are.
The way back is again via Lake Manapuri. The next day we take the bus back to Frankton near Queenstown, and the day after we cycle along the Twin River Trail to Bannockburn. A very beautiful bike path that first leads along the Arrow River and then along the Kawarau River. Of course, for New Zealand, there are suspension bridges here again. First up is the Edgar Bridge. A few kilometers later, we reach the Kawarau Bridge, the mother of bungee jumping. We were curious to see if anyone would jump. We ride the rest of the way on the road to make progress faster. Today is only 45 kilometers, but with 580 meters of elevation gain along the Clutha River, which is also called Lake Dunstan in this section. At first, we roll leisurely through vineyards and past gorse, which grows everywhere here. After a few kilometers, it becomes more barren and above all, rockier on our side of the lake. There are many walkways and bridges attached to the rocks. The first longer climb leads in switchbacks to the highest point for today. The climb was slow, but now the descent is all the faster. There were more bridges and we went up and down several more times. The Lake Dunstan Trail ends in Clyde, and the Otago Central Rail Trail starts there, which we'll be riding starting tomorrow.